afternoon. My name is Ansar Sheikh, Triple Department, St. Peter's Engineering College. In the last lecture, we discussed about stability analysis. Again, in continuation, just I am giving remembering all these things. In stability, there are different types of stable, unstable, critically stable, conditionally stable, relative stability. Different types of stabilities are there, and the location of poles also. If the poles are on the left half of S plane, then the system is stable. If the poles are on the right half of S plane, that is an unstable system. And if the poles are on the imaginary axis, that is a marginally stable system. That thing we discussed also yesterday's class. And specific objectives is that we can know that importance of stability. We can know the different types of stability and how to use the Rutherford criteria also we can know. Here in this concept of stability, the cone example is that in the first case it is unstable, second case it is an unstable, neutral or marginally stable. In the third case, that is an unstable. Already we explained in the last lecture. How we are going to define an unstable system is nothing but if we are having a bounded input for a bounded output, the response of the system must be bounded or controllable, then only we can say that stable system. In very simple, the system which is very easily controllable, that particular system we call it as a stable system. Here we are having see the output will be bounded, and the location of, in this particular case, the location of poles all will be on the left half of S plane. Then only we can say that is a stable system. Unstable system is nothing but for a bounded input, the output is not be bounded. So that means that the output, we cannot expect the output. That output will not going to be controlled by us, or the output will not going to be controlled by input. But that particular type of system we call it as an unstable system. Here we are seeing in this graph the variation of the sine wave, it will be going to be unbounded. It will be increasing continuously, and up to which thing it will be going, we don't know. In the previous case, here once it will be reaches its peak, and it will be going to be coming to a step input, that means 1, so that it will be going to be getting to reaches to a bounded input. But in this case, it will be not like that. The output will be going beyond the input, and it will not going to be control. That particular type of system we call it as an unstable system. In this particular type of system, the location of poles all are on right half of S plane, so that this system we call it as an unstable system. Critically stable system, when the system having poles on the imaginary axis, that particular type of system we call it as an critically stable. When the input is given to a linear time invariant system, the output does not go on increasing infinitely, nor does it go to zero as the time increases. It will not going to be infinitely, it will not going to be increases, and it will be not going to zero also. That particular type system we call it as a critically stable system. The output usually oscillates in a finite range or remains steady at some value. Such systems are not stable as their response does not decay to zero. Neither they are defined as an unstable because their output does not go on increasingly infinitely, or it will not going to be reducing to zero. That particular type of system we call it as a critically stable system. Here the diagram is that here in this case it will be not going to an infinity, and it will not going to coming to an zero, and the location of the poles is on the S plane, that is on the imaginary axis. This particular type of system we call it as a critically stable system. And relative stable system, a system may be absolutely stable, that is it may have passed the Routh stability test. That thing we are going to discuss now. Routh stability system, the system must be an absolutely stable, and at the same time it must be passes through Routh stability. That particular condition, that particular stability system, we call it as an relative stability. As the result, their response decays to zero under zero input condition. The ratio at which they decay to zero is important to check the concept of relative stability. Relative stability means when the poles are located far away from the j omega axis of S plane, the response decays to zero much faster as compared to the poles close to j omega axis. The more the poles are located far away from the j omega axis, the more is the system relative stability. That means if the poles are away from the real axis in the left half of S plane, then the system is more stable. Here I am seeing that the system response. Here in this diagram we can say that location of poles in the, this is an A and B. The system consisting of a conjugate complex conjugate poles. In the first case the system is less stable. In the system B the system is more stable. Why? Because the poles are located far away from the j omega axis. If the poles are far away from the j omega axis, then the system is more stable as compared to the nearer to the j omega axis. Here relative stability improves as the complex pole, or if the poles are away from the j omega axis, the relative stability will be going to be increases that to find the relative stability of a system, we need to find out one criteria. That criteria we call it as Routh stability criterion. To find the Routh stability criterion, we used a characteristic equation, and we know that the transfer function of a given system C of S by R of S must be in the form of like this: b naught into S power m plus b1 into S power m minus 1 plus and so on, divided by a naught into S power n plus a1 into S power n minus 1 plus an, like that we are having. In this criteria, the coefficients of denominator are arranged in the Routh array. In an array is called it as an Routh array. See how we are going to write down that these are the coefficients: a naught into S power n plus a1 into S power n minus 1 plus and so on a power n. This we call it as a characteristic equation. In this characteristic equation, first you need to write down the even coefficient of S power n, and then in the second row you need to write down the odd coefficients of S power n. That means, and in the even coefficient means a0, a2, like that. After that a4, a6. In the second row you are getting odd coefficients a1, a3, a5, a7. That are the two rows only you have to write down. First two rows you have to write down. Then remaining rows we need to calculate. That means an S power n, S power n minus 1, we are going to write by using the characteristic equation. In the remaining S power n minus 2, S power n minus 3 and so on, S naught, we have to write by using the that first two rows of an Routh array. In the third row, first element how we are going to get is nothing but here the cross multiplication we are seeing a1 into a2 minus a3 into a0 divided by a1 will gives an b1. Similarly, how you are going to a second element is nothing but b2 is equal to a1 into a4 minus a5 into a0 by b1. That is a b2, like that we are going to write down. In the second case, here see here b2 value how we are going to write down a1. In the b1 value I am writing a1 minus a2 minus a1 into a2 minus a3 into a0 by a1, and b2 we are going to write on a1 into a4 minus a0 into a5 by a1. Please observe this Routh array so that you understood clearly. In the third case b3 also we are going to write down like that only, in the a1 into a6 minus a7, like that. In the next case c1, next row, how you are going to find out? C1 is b1 a3 minus b2 a1 by b1, and c2 is very simple, you just go through this. C2 how you are getting b1 into a5 minus b3 into a1 by b1. like this we are going to when a c1 c2 c3, each column will reduce by 1 as we move down the array. That means why? Because we are not getting that one row, we have to reduce. The final element will be going to be the last row will be going to be obtained with a single element. Now, what is a Routh criteria? After writing all the Routh criteria, the necessary and sufficient conditions you need to identify. Here in this, whenever I am doing all the Routh array, then you need to find out the first column elements. In the first column, A0, A1, B1, C1 and so on, AN. In this case, is there any sign changes in this first column? That means that there is no sign change in the first column. That means the system is unstable, and if it is unstable, if it is unstable, that means that there is no poles on the right half of S plane. Now, for example, if you are taking in the second case, the blue and yellow color shows that there is for example, we are imagine there is minus b1. How many sign changes? First one is a0, a1, a1 to a3 again positive, a3 to minus b1, that means a positive to negative, and negative to minus b1 to c1, that means a negative to c1. That means how many sign changes? Two sign changes in the first column, that it shows that two poles on the right half of S plane. We know that, as we know that if the one pole on the right half of S plane, then the system is unstable. In this case, two sign changes are there. There are two poles on the right half of S plane, so that the poles are on the right half of S plane means the system is an unstable system. Now I am taking a very just example is that s cube plus 6s square plus 12s plus 8 equal to 0. Here what are the odd coefficients? S cube and s. What are the coefficients you have to write down in the first column? S cube is an 1 and s coefficient is an 12. Similarly, second coefficients, even coefficients of s, that is an 6 and 8. Then what are the third element? B1 and B2 and so on A1. B1 how you are getting? 6 into 12 minus 8 into 1 divided by 6. See here, A1 into A2 minus, like this you are going to write down 6 into 12, 6 12s are 72 minus 8 divided by 6, then you are getting B1. See here, 6 into 12 minus 8 divided by 6, then you are getting a B1 here. See here, 10.61. B2 value, already there is no B2 value, only 10 minus 6 7 you are getting. Like that we are doing, and the final Routh array will be like this: 1 6 10.6 7 8. Now you check in the first column, is there any sign change in the first column? There is no sign change in the first column, so the system is completely stable. There is no sign changes. All elements in the first columns are same elements, hence system is stable. Now the same thing in the second case also you need to do. Example, this is an example all are example. Again in this case also there is no sign changes, the system is stable. Please go through this again always. Again one more example. Here sign change is there, one sign change is there. There are two sign changes, plus 4 to minus 2 and minus 2 to 12. Hence two roots are in the right half of S plane. The system is unstable. Again one more problem example. Same thing you need to find out, and again you need to concentrate on the first column of the Routh array. Here there are two sign changes again, that is plus 7 to minus 1.21 and minus 1.21 to plus 5. That means there are two sign changes. Therefore the system is an unstable system. Again one more problem. All are examples, right? Now the special cases. In a Routh array, if there is no zero, nothing, only sign changes in the first column, then there is no problem. But in some cases what will be happen? Some special cases we are going to get. when the first element, when the first of any row is 0, the rest of the 2 is non-zero elements. Whenever you are writing in a row array by using the first two rows, if you are getting the first element in a particular row is 0 and the two remaining elements are non-zero, then how we are going to perform the row array? See here, just you need to replace that particular element with an epsilon, and then you substitute that value with an epsilon. Wait 1 minute. And you replace with an epsilon and do the same calculation, or what you need to do, you just replace that s with 1 by z, and then you are getting in that equation in the form of like this, all are 5z 5 or like that, and then you do the same process, then you are going to get an unstable or stable system. Just you need to replace with an s is equal to 1 by z and you write the same equation. This is the, whenever you are getting an 1 0 in a particular row, case 2 is that when all the elements are 0, when the all elements in any row 0, then you need to write down a characteristic equation. How you are going to write down the characteristic equation? Here s power 1 equation is 0 0, then you need to write down the s square, 10 into s square plus 10, and you need to do that, apply the differentiation, then you are getting that s coefficients. Like this you are getting, as no sign changes in the first column, so the system is marginally stable. Right. Here after writing that all characteristic equation, for example you are getting an s power for all zeros, then you need to write down that s power 5, you need to take it as an s power 5 and s cube coefficients will be an auxiliary equation, and then you apply the differential equation, then you are getting an s power 4 and s square coefficients in the place of zeros, and you redo the same procedure, then you are going we are going to get, that is